Even if you think you don't have conflict, you're going to have conflict. I've been on teams before where everybody's silent, everybody's smiling, but it's just festering underneath. People are silently suffering, and really that destroys a team even more than the outward conflict. So when you are on your trip, before your trip, after your trip, just like any relationship, but in a heightened sense, you're going to have conflict on your team. So expect it, prepare for it. In your material here, you see different verses to help prevent conflict. Look at those verses and talk about it. But as much as you try and prevent it, you still are going to have conflict. So be ready for that and know how you're going to deal with conflict as a team when it comes, especially when you're on the field. So as you see, there's a 6-step process here for handling conflict. Repair. I'm not going to read through them all. You guys can read them. But know that this process really is helpful as you are dealing with conflict before, during, and after your trip. It's a very easy way for the ministry of your trip to be destroyed if your team is in conflict and you're not dealing with that. So take the time and energy that it takes to deal with conflict.
Absolutely. Every team has unique team dynamics. And because of that team dynamics, each team is comprised of unique people. So whether or not you have one of those silent sufferers, or whether or not you have that angry man, or whether or not you have a passive-aggressive person, there are many different kinds of reactions to stress in these situations. So please take note of these 5 questions to reflect and pray through. Starting with, what does the Lord appreciate about this person? When you're in conflict, sometimes it's hard to focus on something positive. So if you could just read through some of these 5 things. Remember, to apply Matthew 18:15-7. It is a wonderful scripture that helps us really get to the bottom of how to deal with conflict in a biblical way. Remember, if our trip is founded on the foundation of prayer and scripture, we've got to go back to prayer and scripture when dealing with things that come up on our trip. So you go to Matthew 18:15-17, read that now, focus on that, and remember, the most toxic thing you can do on this trip would be to gossip. Gossip will erode that foundation you've created, and it will be one of the most destructive things that you could do. So don't gossip. Make sure you head to these verses, check out these questions, and really focus on repair, because you want to repair things when they've gone awry.